So let me start with Uwais. So what is the main idea? The popular system, the popular system in the world is called laissez-faire, allow them to do, allow them to pass. Laissez-faire, or you can call it free market, free enterprise economy. So all these terms are exchangeable. So free market economy is the popular economic system in the world, as in the United Arab Emirates or in the United States of America. There is a system implemented first in Russia in 1917. Is called command economy, planned economy, government economy, communist economy. What else? Planned, command, controlled economy. All these terms are exchangeable. As we watched in the video, there is at the moment, there is no purely command economy or free market economy. So if you go to China, for example, as an example of command economy, or you go to the United States of America as an example of free market economy, their economies are not so purely command or free. They are somehow mixed economies. So I cannot say exactly it is a third economy, but for some reasons, we cannot get purely free market or command economy. For this reason, we go into mixed economies, and we will define and explain each one soon. But I feel the video we watched perfectly explain these three terms. Let me start with Uwais. Uwais, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
You are good. So from the first sentence,
From Command Economy.
read each sentence and stop till I call your name again. So from the title.
Okay, sir. Economic systems and the role of government.
Okay, so see here, the rule of the government is entirely important in command economy. The government is do everything to manage the whole economy. In a free market economy, the basic idea, the government should not intervene, should not regulate the economic activities. In mixed economy, whether we are command or free, the government should do some duties, as you will see later. Always.
Command economies.
Okay, go.
Command economy. An economy in which a central government either directly or indirectly sets output targets, incomes, and prices.
Okay, so this is called command, planned, controlled, or government economies. So in this case, maybe you didn't practice such economy. But what is the idea here? The government owns most resources. The government set up most important projects. The government produces goods and services. The private sector is not important, has minor rules, maybe in small agricultural farms and very small businesses. But the whole education, the whole medical care, oil, electricity, whatever, petrochemical, iron projects, all these projects are controlled by the government. The main practice for this Soviet Union, when Communist Party controlled the country in 1917. And now maybe the remaining command economies, you can see them in China and also in North Korea. In North Korea, at the moment, is a good example of command economy because China realized the importance of market powers, demand and supply, and they shifted into mixed economy with more application of market powers. But they are still, the main title is command economy. So in this case, the government sets a plan for each 5 years and allocate resources to build new projects. They decided how much should be produced for each product. They set the prices, wages, so they controlled the economic life. And meanwhile, they offer free education, free medical care, and support important goods. So, do you know, humanitarian command economy seems to be nice, but unfortunately, practically, they failed. They cannot guarantee continuous progress. They failed to innovation. They failed in technological progress, while free market made huge progress. So in the end, the story of command economy in Soviet Union ended in 1990. And at the moment, the whole Russia shifted into free market economy. Always.
Laissez-faire economy is the free market.
Go ahead.
Laissez-faire economy, literally from the French, allow them to do. An economy in which individual people and firms pursue their own self-interest without any central direction or regulation.
Okay, so what is the idea of laissez-faire economy, free market, capitalist economy, free enterprise economy? What is the main idea for this? Is a good example, the United States of America and United Arab Emirates, and most countries following this system. So here, everybody, whether a customer or producer, follows their self-interest. So Salim, as a customer, when I spend my money in a way to maximize my utility or benefit. Uwais, who is a producer, which good, what quantity, how to produce it, how to distribute it, according to a main goal. He wants to maximize his profit. So each one is willing to pursue self-interest. And there are some other details. We will discuss it later. So there is a word in the video, the word king. Who is the king in free market economy? Who is the king in free market economy? If you listen well to the video. If you listen to the video, they said something is the king in a free market economy. What is the king? Who is the king in a free market economy? There is an economic variable which plays a good role.
The product need?
No.
Price?
Well done, the price. So the price. Do you know? And we will see. Do you know? Shortly, and this is the main topic in chapter 3 when we discuss about demand, supply, and market equilibrium. The price is determined by infeasible hands. What is infeasible hands? Demand and supply powers. The interaction between all customers and all producers of a single product. The interaction will determine the price per unit. And the price will give the market a signal how much should be produced, how much should be consumed. And we will study more details in chapter 3, how the price works well instead of the government making decisions. So in free market, the price will guide the whole economy. Always.
Market, the institution through which buyers and sellers interact and engage in exchange.
Do you know, when I say market, a very simple example, such as tomatoes market. Tomatoes market in UAE. Thousands of buyers of tomatoes and hundreds of sellers of tomato interact even invisibly. You cannot see their interaction. But in chapter 3, you will realize how they interact and engage in exchange. So Salim will give Awais 5 dirhams. Awais will return back a kilo of tomatoes. So the market, especially free market is an institution or an organization make indirectly decisions in free market. Always.
Some markets are simple and others are complex, but they all involve buyers and sellers engaging in exchange.
So whatever the market, we are talking about tomatoes market in Sharjah, or we talk about international market of oil, gold market in the globe, whatever the product we are talking, electricity, telecommunication services, hotels, restaurants, or tomatoes, all these are markets. Tomatoes market, hotel markets. So this is example of markets, always.
The behavior of buyers and sellers in a laissez-faire economy determines what gets produced, how it is produced, and who gets it.
Okay, so hopefully you can understand this. So the interaction between buyers and sellers will help our economy indirectly without intervening from the government to make, what I mean, the whole society will make decisions about what goods and services should be produced, in which quantities, which technologies should be used to produce these goods, how these goods are distributed. And we will come. Consumer sovereignty, consumer sovereignty. What's the meaning of sovereignty? What's the meaning in Arabic of sovereignty?
So it means holding power, right?
You are very close, sovereignty. The top power.
احتكار.
No, this is, you are talking about monopoly. So try to, Mira, try to translate this word into Arabic and try to tell me, Mira or Maitha, sovereignty. What's the meaning of sovereignty? We use this word in politics.
سيادة.
Yes. What's your name?
علي حسن.
Ali Hassan. Again, what's the meaning of sovereignty?
السيادة.
Yes. So see here, consumer sovereignty. That means the king. Before I said the king is the price. So now, in another word, the king is the consumer. So the whole economy, or let's say producers, should follow consumers' desires. So the king in our society is the consumer. Okay. So Ali, could you read this paragraph for me?
Consumer sovereignty.
Sovereignty. Sovereignty.
Sovereignty. The idea that consumers ultimately detect order what will be produced or not produced by choosing what to purchase and what to not purchase.
Okay, so if consumers in general decided suddenly to purchase more face mask, consumers suddenly for a reason decided to purchase more face mask. Why? Because of coronavirus pandemic. What will happen if demand increases? The price will increase. I remember more than a year ago, I purchased a package of 50 pieces of face mask for 100 dirhams. So what will happen since the price increased to upper level? Producers can make great profit because the cost per unit, the cost per package may cost them, let's say, 6 dirhams, and the market price 100. So all producers, all investors will jump, will run quickly to produce face mask. As supply increases, the price will decrease. So some investors will go out of the market till we reach equilibrium. The producers will produce a quantity at a certain current market price which satisfy customer needs. This is what happened in the United Arab Emirates. I follow the story. So now it's so easy for customers to get face mask at, let's say, 10 dirhams per unit, per 50 pieces. So assume in the same time, have you saw before black white TV? Black white TV, not colored TV, not plasma TV, the old TV. Maybe you are young, you cannot remember. Have you ever seen black white TV?
Yeah, I once.
Yes, I.
Can you describe it?
Everything in black and white.
All pictures, all movies in black white colors. There is no different colors.
There is some channels now that put movies in black and white only. I think it was Rotana or something.
Yeah. Do you know they are showing old movies, and all movies are recorded in black white. So for this reason, you see black white movies because they are showing old movies. And do you know, old people such as Salim, who passed 60, they love old movies. So even they are black white, but there are a sort of technology to change, for example, Kulthum to be colored movie, colored video. Okay.
But sir, when they do that, I think they take how unique these movies are.
Yes, I do agree with you. They will damage the quality of the movie. I do agree with you. I do agree. So I used to see Kulthum in black white. When they put more colors, it's something not original. It's something not original. Are you Rashid or Ali?
Rashid.
Rashid. Well done, Rashid. Okay, so see here, assume now there is no more demand on black-white TV. What will happen? Customers decided not to purchase a black-white TV. So if Rashid has a company or plant producing black-white TV, because there is no purchases anymore, he will close the project in the end. So because he listened well to consumers. So there is no production anymore of black-white TV. Because who decided first? Customers. So this is customer sovereignty. So in the end, you know, this is not opposite of the price is the king. It's the same idea. So how to tell, how we tell producers which product is very important? By the price. By the price. Ali, could you continue?
Yes, sure. Visual production decisions, free enterprise.
Yeah, go ahead.
Free enterprise, the freedom of individuals to start and operate private businesses in search of profits.
Okay, you know, free enterprise economy, market economy, everybody is free, customers and the producers here are free to allocate their money. So let's say Rashid Naqbi has 1 million dirhams. He's free to invest his money in a special activity, hotel, restaurants, tomatoes, face mask, whatever, education, consultancy. So he will decide which business should invest his money in. So according to his judgment, according to his skills, he will invest his money to gain profit. So the government will not push Rashid, will not force Rashid to invest his money in the way they prefer. So assume, just for imagination, assume our government loves digital or digital technology or knowledge economy, the applications of knowledge economies. So they wanted Rashid to invest his money to develop a new IT applications, but Rashid hates IT. He wants to invest his money producing mandi. It is a meal to open a restaurant. So the government will not push Rashid. So this is free enterprise economy. Let's go how to distribute output. So how to distribute output. So how many kilos of tomatoes will be purchased by, we are talking about free enterprise or free market economy. So how many kilos of tomatoes will be purchased by Salim? How many units of seafood restaurant will be purchased by Salim? How many, whether Salim is going to buy a new car or not. So who will answer these questions? Not the government. Not the government will give a package of goods and services for free to Salim as somehow in command economy. But here the price. How? Let's say, let's go to Rashid Al-Naqbi.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Distribution of output. The amount that
What's the meaning of distribution?
توزيع.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
The amount that any household gets depends on its income and wealth.
Okay, so for example, Salim got a salary of 10,000 dirhams. So most probably my productivity or my skills determine the price of my labor force. So the price of my labor force is called my wages or my income. So my income, which is or my wages or my salary, is 10,000 dirhams. And I managed to save a little money. So at the moment, I have a wealth of 1 million dirhams. Let's just, for example. So also the free market will determine my wages. My wages is the price of labor force. So the government will not intervene to determine the wages per person, the demand and supply of skills. Because assume now there is more demand on medical care services, so I expect wages of doctors and nurses will increase. So the demand and supply powers will determine, and according to skills and experience. Rashid.
Income is the amount that a household earns each year. It comes in a number of forms: wages, salaries, interest, and the like.
Okay, so see here, if you are a construction worker, you will get wages. If you are a professor, you will get a salary. If you invest your money in financial market, you will get interest. If you are an owner of a project, you will get a profit. All these sources are called income. So according to your ownership to which kind of factors of production. So Salim has labor force, Rashid has land, Alia has money invested in financial markets. So all of us will get sort of income. Income is different than wealth. Income is flow measure, but wealth is stock measure. So each month I get 10,000 dirhams, but at this moment I have 1 million dirhams. Rashid.
Wealth is the amount that households have accumulated out of past income through saving or inheritance.
Okay. What's the meaning in Arabic of inheritance? My
Worth.
grandfather passed away, and then I got through the court 5 million dirhams. What is the
Worth.
inheritance?
Worth.
Yes, well done, Rashid. So I used to save a little money each month. So the accumulated amount I have right now, it is my wealth. So see here, what is the idea? According to the level of income and wealth, according to the level of income and wealth, I can enter into the market purchasing goods and services. So my income and the prices of goods and services, in addition to my income and wealth, will determine quantities of different goods and services. So keep this idea in your mind. Demand of a single product is a function of, most importantly, its price, income, and wealth. So how many kilos of tomatoes depends on the price per kilo, depends on my salary, depends on my wealth. So if assume I'm richer, I will buy more tomatoes, more perfume, more whatever. If I am poor, I will buy less quantities. So as I consume more quantities, I will be happier. So the price. So I put the price in red to highlight the importance of the price. So in free enterprise economy, the price is the king. The price work through demand, through consumer sovereignty, through the market. And the market is the main institution or organization help the society to make decisions about what produced, how distributed, without intervention by the government. So the government is not in charge of producing goods and services. The government will not make decisions about how many seafood restaurants or how many meals of seafood should be produced. This is not the duty of the government. So the price will give a signal to producers about how many units of seafood should be produced in our economy. So this is called price theory, and microeconomics is also called a price theory. So microeconomic theory or price theory. So for this reason, I feel chapter 3 is the most important one. If you understand chapter 3, I can say you controlled microeconomics. So now we reach to mixed system. So this is, let's say, this is a third option. We say command economy, free market economy, and the third option for economic systems is called mixed system. I don't love to call it third option. Honestly, there are two basic options. Command, such as China or North Korea, and the free market, such as US and United Arab Emirates. But practically, as we watched in the video, there is, let's say, third option, which is called mixed system. Let's just spend a couple of minutes about mixed system. The differences.
The differences between command economies and
laissez-faire
economies in their pure forms are enormous, huge. In fact, these pure forms do not exist in the world. All real systems are in some sense mixed.
Okay, so what is the idea here? Practically, there is no pure command economy. There is no pure free market economy. In both systems, the government realized there are some problems, very important problems in both systems. So both governments in two systems decided to intervene into the economy to make balance. So what happened in China is a good example. China is a great example. So China decided, or they saw that the full control of the government over the economy will make the economy rigid. We cannot follow technological progress. We cannot increase rapidly the social welfare. We cannot compete internationally. Our country will be isolated from interaction with the globe. For this reason, they changed the laws. They allowed business sector, they allowed private sector to enter into the economy and started to invest. In addition, they allow foreign investors to enter into China and set up projects. So now there are strong private companies working in China. Even the Communist Party is still controlling the whole country, still the main description of the system in China is command, but there is a wide range of market powers by allowing business sector to work. This is one idea. The second idea, the United States of America or the United Arab Emirates, even they are following free enterprise economies, they found there are some problems cannot be solved without sort of control by the government. For example, it is a simple example, public services. So who will produce electricity? Nobody is interested in producing electricity, I mean in the private sector. If a company make a risk and started to produce electricity, they will sell it at very high prices. It will injure the consumers and will put barriers into the progress of the whole economy. So the government decided to control electricity activities. So now our government is in charge of producing and selling electricity at a moderate supported prices. So here, even we are following a free market, but the government started to regulate some activities. So, do you know, for example, now, Melissa has a background in medical care and she decided to set up a hospital. It's okay, but she has to follow some rules to guarantee the quality, to guarantee the justice, to guarantee patients' rights. I cannot call this intervene in the medical care activities. This is sort of regulation to the activities. Some people look at it, look here, the government of UAE started to intervene medical care activities or whatever the other activities. This is the mixed system when command or free, when command economy give sort of freedom to private sector, when free economy their government started to control some activities. So in the UAE, it's clear the oil sector is fully controlled by the government. Just maybe yesterday, I heard ADNOC offered a project to the private sector or to the general public to purchase shares. So they started to transfer an oil company from government management to private sector or to demand and supply powers.